Welcome to the Waterboy and Equipment Manager podcast. My name is Saif Basaria.
My name is Shaban Samani.
I'm Case Charania.
And All-Star break is upon us. This is a horrible time to be an NBA fan because starting right now, we don't have basketball for a week. But
they play tomorrow, don't they?
Well, yes, but when the listeners are listening to this podcast, it will be a day later. But yeah, you're all right. This sucks for us as NBA fans, but honestly, this is a really good thing for players, coaches, staff, their families. Just take a break, get their heads right, get their bodies right. And then that home stretch of the NBA season is coming up. Normally, All-Star break falls around the midway point of the NBA season. I believe this year we're going to be a little bit past the midway point. A lot of these teams have played like 55 to 60-ish games.
That's about right.
There's really like 25 to 20 games left in the NBA season for the majority of the NBA teams this year, which is a little bit longer than what we would consider a 41-game halfway point. But it is what it is. So today, what we're doing on the podcast is we're going to talk about what we would consider our mid-season awards. The reason why they're not mid-season is because, well, we're a little bit past the mid-season. But we're going to do the awards, make predictions on what we like. And we're also going to kind of tie those to the odds available in Vegas right now, just to see kind of where we're at, where the value is. If you're interested, you're welcome to invest, for lack of a better word. Just do it responsibly, please, or unresponsibly. I don't know.
We're done.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
I was gonna let Kay say it. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna do awards picks, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about All-Star break because it's coming up in a couple of days from now. We're gonna talk about the skills competition, the 3-point competition, the dunk contest, who we like, and what their odds are as well. That'll be towards the end of the podcast. So if that's what you've come here for, which is a weird thing to have just come here for just the All-Star stuff, but great, skip to the end of the episode and you'll get to hear that. In the meantime, at WBEMPOD, that's Web and Pod on Instagram and Twitter, and the Waterboy and Equipment Manager podcast on YouTube or Spotlight Sports Network if you watch us over there. Thanks for joining us.
Or you could find me breaking all kinds of news at Case NBA. Once again, it's at Case NBA.
Case, you want to spell it? Yeah. Okay.
NBA. Yeah, I got you. Don't worry.
Yeah, man. He's got bombs like Woj for real.
You know what? He's not wrong. So, like I said, listener, we're gonna do awards. So I think we should just jump into it, boys. Unless we have anything else. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about this week?
The Kristaps trade is finally complete.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
as of this morning,
he passes physical, which I was kind of worried about for a second because it would have been mad awkward for him to like come back to Dallas.
That's true. Imagine he comes back and Mark's like, "Wait, where's my crypto buddy?" And Dinwiddie's just back in Washington as well. That would be a problem. All right, NBA MVP. It's the big trophy. Kays, let's start off. You want to go last? Okay, fine. That's totally fine. Shaban, who do you believe the current MVP of the NBA is?
See, this is hard for me because it could go one of two ways and I would not be upset. But like today, like yesterday it's one guy, today it's another guy. Today it's Joel Embiid. Tomorrow it could be Nikola Jokic. And then the day after it could be back to Joel Embiid. But right now it's Joel. Joel is the NBA's leading scorer. He's averaging his career high in assists per game.
He is not the NBA's leading scorer.
Yeah, he is. 29.3 points per game.
Giannis is averaging 29.5.
Really? As of today?
As of last night after the 50 piece, yes.
The 50 piece. That could probably do the difference.
Dang.
I am the numbers man now.
0.2 points. Damn, this sucks because I actually just looked it up as I was doing my prep. But yeah, like, okay, well, fine. He is the second leading scorer in the NBA. He's averaging his career high in assists at about 5 assists per game. And he's probably the best defensive center in the game today that's not named Rudy Gobert. See, I had to sneak that. I had to sneak that in for you.
On a center.
And like also the Philadelphia 76ers are 30-15 whenever Joel Embiid suits up. And also with the unexpected absence of Ben Simmons, because we all thought that he was
not unexpected.
Well, we all thought that he was going to come back. We all thought that this whole hissy fit that he was going to have, we thought it was going to last like maybe a couple of weeks and that he was just going to come back. But no, like Joel Embiid has been the guy for the entire team for the entire season. And so far they are fourth and fifth in the East.
They lost by 48 last night.
They are currently, fifth in the East, and yes, they did lose by 48 points last night. I don't think that really changes.
That's a bad look. But
yeah, look, I don't think it changes anything. I'm gonna jump in with you, Shaban. I actually don't necessarily. It's not to say that it's not close, but I actually don't have the flip-flop tendencies of the difference between the two options here, and that's not a knock at you. I just think that Joel has been better all year long. Period. I think Jokic is really good, and he's a firm second place kind of guy. But I think Joel is currently the MVP of the NBA. However, now with James Harden coming in the fold, a guy who obviously is ball dominant, we're gonna have to see how that plays out for the next 20 games or so. Because if it is that close, the way you've described it, Shaban, then 20 games actually could make the difference for Joel's case or lack thereof, right? So Joel currently sits at plus. Ooh. Zuko's upset. Zuko's doubly upset.
Special appearance.
Yeah, Zuko did not like that take, apparently.
Zuko, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were a Jokic guy, but now I know. Joel Embiid currently sits at plus 150. He is the odds-on favorite for the MVP award as it stands. Jokic is another pick Shaban talked about. He's plus 350. He's tied with Giannis for second place as the MVP, I guess, front runners or so. But yeah, Joel Embiid plus 150. I think Vegas kind of agrees with Shaban and I on this one here. But Kays, where's your head at? Where are your thoughts at? And then we could possibly talk about some dark horse contenders potentially.
So I thought y'all were going Jokic. So I wanted to go last and say Embiid. But I don't think it's a contest. And my only fear is James Harden.
Like, I agree with you. As you can tell, I agree with that statement completely, man. I wonder how much that will affect Embiid. And I also wonder, this isn't MVP related, but with a player of James Harden's caliber and ball dominancy, how much will that affect what they can do in the next 20 games to get right before the playoffs come? Will it mess up?
So my thing isn't necessarily that way. I think they lost a lot of important pieces, or important piece technically, with Seth Curry leaving.
Definitely.
And I don't know how they recover that. Like, yes, James Harden is a very good basketball player, but he's not, let me run around the court until you pass me the ball and I'll shoot a three and make it kind of player.
For sure. James Harden off ball is historically a problem. I do think, obviously, look, again, we're not doing MVP talk anymore, but that's kind of the point. I don't believe at any point that this trade was a bad idea. It's a good idea. It was the right thing to do.
I'm not saying it was a bad trade.
I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but I think that we should clarify, right? If they didn't make this trade, the Sixers had no real shot of winning the NBA Finals. They definitely have a more shot now than they did a week and a half ago before the trade was made. That I will say. Now, again, the encore product between him, Harden, and the rest of the team completely matters. Losing Seth is actually kind of a big deal. It's an underrated topic that I assume a lot of NBA media has already talked about. But Asad, obviously, he's not here today, listener, if you didn't already notice, if you're not watching us. But he did send me his picks. And so for MVP, he actually did pick Jokic as his guy and then had Embiid as his second guy. So if you, listener, if you get the idea, we kind of have a top two. It's pretty consensus. Three of us say Embiid, one says Jokic, and unfortunately, Asad's not here to defend himself. But it's not like he picked something ridiculous.
Shaban defended him.
Jokic is in the conversation, no doubt. I just think Embiid is clearly the guy as it stands.
Jokic has been like reliable and consistent as always. He leads the league in triple doubles. He leads the league in PER. He leads the league in win shares. He leads the league in box plus minus.
I mean, Jokic is fucking good at basketball. We know that.
Exactly.
He's pretty good at basketball. Now, the one thing I want to discuss before we move on, because this is kind of the most underrated part of this conversation. If we had this conversation in December or even early January, Steph Curry would have been the guy, right? Or at least in this conversation.
100%. For sure.
What the hell happened? He is not first, second, or third on the Vegas odds. He's now sitting at third and fourth, and quite a distant fourth. He's at plus 700 now. What the hell happened? The Warriors.
So he's actually gained the ground somehow. When I checked earlier in the week, he was at plus 850.
Yeah, I mean, when I checked the NBA.com MVP ladder, he's at fifth, I believe.
Really? You want to read it?
Is he behind DeRozan? Would you know by off top of your head?
It's Joel. No. Actually, no. Right now it's Jokic, Embiid, Giannis, Chris Paul, and Steph.
Paul.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nuts.
The
That's
NBPA president position has some pull.
I mean, well, like credit to Chris. I mean, like the best player on the best team in the league always gets like some kind of nod in the
Devin Booker
conversation.
wasn't a name you said.
Just to get nice, very nice case. Just to give you some context, listener, what we're talking about here. Like I told you earlier, Joel is plus 150. Now, for those of you who don't know what that means, it's $100. You place a bet, and if Joel wins MVP, you win $150 on top of your initial $100. To give you context, Chris Paul, who's apparently fourth on this list, he's at plus 2,000. And Booker, as Kay's mentioned, is at plus 1,800. So they're actually sixth and seventh. And DeMar DeRozan is at plus 2,500. He falls behind both of them right now as we speak. It's not to say that these guys aren't good picks. I think that right now we all agree that Joel Embiid is the guy.
It's a two-headed race, and one of the heads is clearly further ahead.
Yeah, and then the factor comes in James Harden, or maybe even Jamal Murray. If Jamal Murray comes back, how does that change? I actually think it won't really bother Jokic that much. But
there was an update on Jamal Murray.
What's that? What have you heard?
Really?
He's been cleared for individual non-contact practice.
Okay, very cool.
Well, I don't think he's going to come back this season, but that's progress.
I have no idea what that means for a comeback timing, to be honest with you. I'm not going to guess either.
Yeah, it's weird. But apparently the Clippers came out and said, breaking news, Paul George could be back by March.
Oh, next wow.
March of 2023. I'm joking. Let's jump into the next one. This, I think, is a very interesting topic because I see the odds-on favorite. I'm looking at it right now, and I completely disagree. Let's talk about Coach of the Year. As it stands, the Coach of the Year candidates generally happen to be the best coaches on the best teams, right? If I'm not mistaken, Monty Williams won last year. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep. Wait, did he win last year? I thought it was Quinn wrong. Snyder.
Monty won last year.
I don't know. It could have been. I'm not completely. It's one of those awards that is fun to talk about, but I almost forget instantaneously who's won it. As it stands, Shaban, while you keep doing that research, the Phoenix Suns.
Oh no, it was Tom Thibodeau.
Oh shit, that is true. Yeah, because the Knicks blew everyone's minds, and that kind of proves a point considering how bad they are this year. So Monty Williams and the Phoenix Suns are the best team in the NBA with a record of 47-10 as we sit here today. That's 5 games better than anybody else. The Golden State Warriors are second, and 10 games better than number 1 in the East, which are the Miami Heat, and the Chicago Bulls, who are tied for 37 wins apiece. As it stands, Monty Williams is the odds-on favorite to win Coach of the Year. Shaban, who do you have as your Coach of the Year?
Well, not Monty Williams.
Okay.
I mean, not to take it.
Yeah, not to take it away from him. That sounded real rude, though. Oh, that sounded
real. But what I feel like what JB Bickerstaff has done in Cleveland, as far as a player development standpoint, as well as his defensive schemes, is nothing short of extremely impressive.
No,
He is coaching a top 4 defense in the entire league. This team won 22 games last season, and now they're the 4th seed in a loaded Eastern Conference. They went from missing the playoffs for the last 3 years, and now they're crashing the postseason with home court advantage. And they're 2 games behind Miami and Chicago for the 1 seed. So I went with JB Bickerstaff.
So JB Bickerstaff is actually second on the NBA odds in Vegas, but it's at plus 350. So pretty good. $100 wins you $350 plus your initial. Before I get to Kays and myself, Assad chose Eric Spoelstra as the Coach of the Year candidate, the Miami Heat, the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Eric Spoelstra sits at plus 1,000 right now as we speak. He's in 5th place of the candidates available. I chose Billy Donovan of the Chicago Bulls. I actually think Billy Donovan is a legitimate Coach of the Year candidate. Now, Billy has been a guy who coached, Russell Westbrook, Oklahoma City, and then a bunch of kind of not great teams. We haven't really got the chance to see what Billy can do as a coach with not a system player like Russell Westbrook, who literally creates his own system, which wasn't really a bad thing, by the way, at the time. Now, the Bulls, I think, have blown everybody's expectations away, like similar to the Cavs that Shaban's talked about. But I think that unlike the Cavs, this is a legitimate contender for an NBA championship. And I think Billy Donovan, also coupled with DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball, and Nikola Vucevic, play a role in that. And I think Billy Donovan.
Don't you forget Alex Caruso.
Well, AC, yes. AC is big. So my point is they have a top 10 offense in the NBA. They have a top 10 defense in the NBA. They're a good basketball team in pretty much every sense of the word. And Alonzo hopefully will be back at some point. Caruso's back rather soon, I believe they said.
He just got cleared
7 to 10 days.
Exactly. So in about 2 weeks' time, he should be back, hopefully. Billy Donovan plus 700, the fourth place guy in Vegas's odds right now as we speak. So unlike MVP, so far 3 people have had 3 different choices. Case, where do you sit on the Coach of the Year conversation?
So before I pick mine, I'm just going to say Monty Williams is going to win this year. Simply because he didn't win last year and his back-to-back years with the best team in the league.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right.
But I picked Billy Donovan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's impressive. And even with all the expectations, they've continued to shatter what we thought they were.
I mean, we didn't think these guys were a top team in the Eastern Conference. That's for sure. Yeah. We didn't come into it.
I can't disagree with Billy Donovan. He has been forced to adjust and then readjust and then readjust. He lost Patrick Williams in the beginning of the year, and then later he lost Lonzo Ball to a torn meniscus, and then Grayson Allen took out Alex Caruso later on in the year.
Fucking
it's not far out to say that, like, yes, like they were a top 10 defense, like from consistently from the beginning of the year, but you know, their 3 best defensive players have went down and their defense has been decimated since. But he has had to adjust and lean into the high-powered offense of DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Nikola Vucevic. They have the league's best 3-point shooting team. And right now, they're tied with Miami for the 1 seed, even with all these key players missing. So I can't disagree with Billy Donovan.
So I think, Case, you're onto the thing, though, right? As it sits right now, Monty Williams is minus 250. So you'd have to actually go the other way and bet $250 to win $100. He's quite heavy a favorite as it stands right now. And the only way that changes is if the Suns fall off an absolute cliff, which is kind of hard to predict considering they've been consistently really fucking good for basically two
They're
NBA
the
seasons.
best clutch team in the NBA.
I mean, it's kind of not fair.
24-3 in clutch games.
I mean, it's not fair because the Suns pretty much have 2 coaches. They have a coach like off the court and they have a coach on the court. They have Chris Paul on the court and they have Monty Williams off the court.
Sure, but Monty, if he had won this award last year, I think I'd be more aggressive in arguing against him winning again this year. But because I think he was kind of robbed last year, you got to give it to him this year. He deserves it. He's worked tirelessly for it. And the Suns, again, guys, let's be honest. Even when the Suns went to the finals last year and lost, we didn't sit there going, yeah, they're totally going to be the number 1 team in the NBA this NBA season again. We didn't sit here and predict that in the offseason. And so I definitely think we all thought they would be a good team. But the top team in the NBA by 5 games right now, as we're 60 games almost into the NBA season, is a hell of an accomplishment. They're on pace to have 60 wins this NBA season, which is kind of ridiculous.
As far as a prediction standpoint goes, we go with Joel for MVP, and now we're going Monty Williams for Coach of the Year.
I think Monty is the answer, but I'm still gonna go Billy.
I still pick Billy Donovan.
Yeah, I think Case is going Billy. I think you're gonna stick with.
I'm gonna stick with JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah, and us, it's got Spoelstra here. Also did bring up an interesting point. He made his honorable mention Tyronn Lue of the LA Clippers, who right now sits in, let's see, 11th place. Yeah, 11th place at $6,600. $100 wins you $6,600. That's to say that he's not going to win this award, but I get where he's coming from. The Clippers were meant to be dead in the water. This NBA season was not meant to be that great with Kawhi already going to be out. Now, Paul George has missed considerable amounts of time. They have a not good roster, and yet they're playing good basketball, and they play it for this NBA coach. So yes, he won't win this award, but yeah, sure, he should be mentioned in the conversation of, you've done a hell of a job this NBA season with limited resources, to say the least. Let's move on to the award. This award annoys me. Let's talk about the defensive
or just
player.
Ignore me.
Oh, sorry. What's up?
I want to make a hot take.
Great. Make a hot take.
The Cavs this year are the Knicks of last year.
Oh my.
Why?
It's kind of the same game plan, right? We're gonna smother you on defense. We're gonna win tough games, and we don't really have a superstar. They're gonna get bounced in the first round in 5 games.
I mean, against who though? Because like right now, like
I don't care. They're getting bounced in the first round.
It's uncertain like where they are right now because like they're only 2 games behind the 1 seed.
And
yeah, I think it's gonna be difficult for the Cavaliers to move past the first round, but you're right. It depends on kind of who they end up with. The only reason why I disagree with you, Kays, is because the Knicks of last year, besides Julius Randle playing obviously really great basketball, it's very hard to go back and draw parallels to what you expected to be a consistent performance for multiple years. Besides Julius, who we agree is kind of fallen off a cliff this year. He's still good, but he's not an all-star caliber player like he was last year. The Cavs, on the other hand, do actually have a bunch of guys who can definitely reproduce what they're doing so far. Garland has been really good this year. He probably should get better as he ages into NBA career. Evan Mobley is obviously a rookie. He should get better. Jarrett Allen is rather young. He should get better or at least stay consistent. Zuko, I don't know what your problem is with the Cavs, but come on, man.
Zuko agrees with Kays.
I disagree. I think Zuko was barking to say, hey, I totally get where you're coming from. The Cavs are not the Knicks because the Cavaliers have a multitude of players who should be as good, if not better, next NBA season. It's hard for me to have said that about the Knicks last year, besides Randall, who I think has surprised us all by being not as good or even close. That's kind of why it's like, if this happens next year, I'll have to clip this one like I had to clip the other one from a couple of days ago with UK's. But I don't see a world in which that the Cavs are going to fall off a cliff. They might not be the 4th or 3rd or even 2nd best team in the East next year, but they should be a good basketball team and they should remain competitive next year as well. Let's move on. Defensive Player of the Year. The reason why I don't like this award right now is because all things equal, this is a walkaway Draymond Green award.
Of course.
But he's missed so much basketball and he has continued to miss so much basketball. And there's no timeline on when he'll return back to the NBA court. So I can't give this award to Draymond Green. Even though if we had this conversation in January, I would have given it to Draymond Green. Mm-hmm. He's currently, as it stands, the 2nd favorite to win this award at plus 200. And I'm not going to give it to Draymond Green because I don't think he deserves it. Now, if he comes back in the next, let's say, 5 to 7 games, which is highly unlikely, and he plays 10 more games this NBA season, maybe that's the difference. But we haven't heard a timeline. We haven't heard any updates. The Warriors have been very quiet about Draymond Green, or there's just no update to be had, which is also possible. I don't think Draymond's coming back this NBA season personally. For that reason, I don't think he can get this award. But he was the runaway favorite a month ago. Mm-hmm. I'm going to pick Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think he's the defensive player of the year this year.
Fuck you.
I think he's the best defensive player of the year.
That was my pick.
I think we're all going to go this way. It seems.
Okay, cool. We all picked Giannis.
Okay, and also picked Giannis. I think that he is the best defender in the NBA. His ability to switch and play defense on literally anybody on the court, no matter who you are, is more impressive than, by the way, the current favorite is Kays' favorite player.
The French,
in the NBA.
fuck himself.
Rudy Gobert is at plus 180. He is currently the odds-on favorite to win this award. I don't think he will win. I don't think he should win, by the way. I think Giannis is currently in 3rd place on this award at plus 250. But as you can tell with Giannis, Draymond, and Rudy, it's quite a tight race between them. Mm-hmm. There's like 70 cents of value difference between, which is quite tight a race to begin with. So,
I don't think Rudy's going to win for the same reason Draymond's not going to win. He's also missed a lot of games. Bam Adebayo would have been a good choice also.
Bam would have been a good choice coming in. I think we picked Bam coming into the NBA season. I think at least one of us did as a prediction kind of thing. Bam would have been a really good choice. Jarrett Allen also kind of shocking that he's sitting at 9th place at plus 5,000 here.
He's statistically the best defensive player in the NBA.
And he's at 9th place.
So I'm looking at the defensive ranking, the defensive player of the year ladder from NBA.com.
Okay.
And at 10th place, it's Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley for a defensive player.
This is why I hate the NBA website.
I think Jarrett Allen should have a higher chance.
He should be top 5 in this.
Than plus 5,000. Listener, if you're wondering, the award current, I guess, power rankings in Vegas are as follows. It's Rudy Gobert, Draymond in second, Giannis in third, Jaren Jackson Jr. in fourth, Mikal Bridges, the Phoenix Suns one, in fifth, Joel Embiid in sixth, Mobley in seventh, Matisse Thybulle 8, Jared Allen 9, and to round out the top 10, Robert Williams is 10th. Shaban, just to give you perspective.
I do fuck with Robert Williams.
But here's to give you perspective, okay? I told you Jared Allen is plus 5,000 to win the award, right? Robert Williams is also plus 5,000 to win the award. I would argue that Jared Allen is not as likely or less likely or more likely, whatever. They are not of the same likelihood to win the award is what I'm trying to say here.
No, they're not.
No.
And Evan Mobley, his teammate, is at plus 3,000. So he's 2,000 less in value. I don't know. We're talking about, it doesn't matter. Neither one of them are going to win the award. My quibble is that they should be higher on this list. That's kind of where I'm at. But it doesn't matter because nobody agrees. Let's jump into.
Can I give an honorable mention really quick?
Sure.
I want to give a quick shout out to Mikal Bridges.
He's
like
good.
For
he's
real,
like no, he's very.
He's
good.
been very like Chris Paul is like on the offensive end. Chris Paul is the engine that makes Phoenix run, but on the defensive end, that's all Mikal Bridges. Like he is their best like perimeter defender, and he has led Phoenix to being probably the best defensive team in the entire league. And I think he deserves a lot of credit for that. I don't think he's going to win, but like he'll go up against and he'll go up and he'll guard your best player. And I think he deserves a lot of credit for that.
I agree. I think he deserves to be in this conversation, but I wonder what has to change for Giannis to just be a straight up favorite. He's sitting in third place, like we've talked about. And I'm not completely sure, but if you like him, now would be a good time because the value's there.
I mean, technically, he is playing better than when he did win Defensive Player of the Year last time.
Yes, definitely. So let's jump into the next award, the Most Improved Player Award. The odds-on favorite right now is Ja Morant at minus 500.
Yeah, it's not even close.
He is such a heavy favorite. It's kind of ridiculous.
I don't like it.
But I actually don't want to pick Ja Morant.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to pick him.
I'm glad none of us are picking Ja Morant. I will say Asad did pick Ja Morant. I actually don't think it's Ja Morant. Ja Morant was already an All-Star last year, and he went from All-Star to All-Star starter. He went from All-Star level player to Superstar level player, which is a difficult jump to make. And Ja Morant, that should matter. However,
was he an All-Star last year?
Yeah, absolutely. No, maybe.
No, this is his first All-Star appearance.
No, you're right. He was not an All-Star last year into All-Star, and he went from really, really good young player to Superstar caliber player. Ja Morant was already really good last year. I don't see this award as one in which we go, hey, you were really good last year and you're really, really good this year. And so we should, I think this matters for players who were not that good last year and are legitimately better this year.
Players that were under the radar, right?
Yeah. Like, and I also don't mean you got 12 more minutes per game. And so we're going to reward that. And I'm not saying that's Ja, by the way. I'm simply saying a lot of players in the past have gone from 9 minutes a game to 25 minutes a game, and all of a sudden you're statistically better and your case is better. No, I think that should be considered in that conversation. I wonder if we'll have different options here. That's interesting to me.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going to give Most Improved Player to someone who's in a Grizzly uniform, I'd rather give it to Desmond Bane.
I would struggle.
I don't know if he's actually going to get it though, but if we're going to give it to someone on Memphis, I'd rather give it to Desmond Bane.
I think Desmond Bane. Okay, I really like Desmond Bane. I think he deserves to be in this conversation. But I actually think that Darius Garland should win this award.
Darius Garland is the right pick.
I think Darius Garland should win this award because I think Darius Garland went from. Are we sure that they made the? Well, we went from. Are we sure they made the right pick when they picked him 2 years ago to holy shit, he's an all-star, and he totally deserves to be there. And he's actually really fucking good at basketball. And his odds, by the way, are plus 1,200. So 100 to win 1,200, and he's in third place, which is sick. I think Darius Garland actually deserves this award. I'm a little shocked at the value I'm getting for him. I may or may not invest in the odds because I think they're really fucking good right now.
I just did.
This is gonna sound really messed up for me to say, but I feel like Colin Sexton getting injured is probably the best thing that to Darius Garland.
You better donate to charity or something, because that was ugly from you, Shaban. You gotta make up for that one. But I don't disagree with you, and I will say that part too.
But for what it's worth, just for the sake of the discourse, I did not pick Darius Garland. I picked Miles Bridges.
Well, he's in second place here at plus 700. Talk to me about why you picked Miles Bridges.
Yeah, Miles Bridges has had a fantastic season so far. He's averaging career highs in pretty much every statistical category without really getting much of a opportunity boost. He's averaging about 20 points per game, 3.6 assists, 7.1 rebounds, a block and a steal. And his increased aggression has led him to led the team in trips to the line, and he's cashing in on about 80% of those trips. And also, the fact is, he's also played in every single game this season after health issues have kept him out for about 20 games over the last couple of seasons. I think his availability, his increased confidence, and the way that he's playing now, I think that Miles Bridges should have a decent shot at most improved player.
I mean, he clearly has a decent shot. He's sitting in second place as we speak. I actually don't have a problem with your pick. And the only reason why I went Garland over Bridges is, one, Garland is the engine that starts the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Cavs are just better than the Hornets this NBA season. It's not to knock your pick. It's just I had the similar mental discussion with myself saying, hey, do I like Miles better or do I like Garland better for this pick here? And that's why I went Garland. It's because
I can understand Darius Garland. I can understand Darius Garland because he's pretty much like the number one option on that team.
Definitely. I think, Case, you agree with everything we've said so far. Is there anything you want to add for Darius Garland?
No, I think he's just the most deserving player on this list.
I think so too. I think this is the only award so far where I actually seriously have a problem with the odds-on favorite. I do not think Ja Morant should win this award, because I think Ja Morant is a superstar in the NBA, and your award is being a superstar in the NBA.
Yeah. Like my issue with Ja getting this award is the same with I'm a huge Luka Doncic fan, and like even I had a problem when he was like the favorite to win the most improved, because it should go to someone. End up
winning, did he?
He didn't end up winning. I think it went to who did he go to that year?
Brandon Ingram? No.
It was last year, right?
Was it last year? I don't remember.
Man. It was 2 years ago.
That's what I thought. It was 2 years.
Then it was definitely Brandon Ingram.
I think it was the Brandon.
I think it was Brandon Ingram.
I think Zion won last year.
No, last year was Julius Randle.
And Julius deserved it because he went to another level, and then unfortunately the collapse. But anyway, the point I'm making is that I really don't want to give this award to a top 20 player in the NBA like Ja Morant is. You're fucking fantastic, dude. You don't need this award. This can do something for Darius Garland or Miles Bridges, though. They could be like, oh, you know what? My peers respect the level I'm at. Ja, your peers already respect you. They're very afraid of you in many cases. Rookie of the year. I would be shocked.
I don't think it's a contest.
If anybody,
there's only one option.
It's Evan Mobley, and it's not
Evan
close.
Mobley.
And it's not close. This is the odds-on favorite. Evan Mobley is minus 500. After that, it's Scotty Barnes at plus 650, Cade Cunningham at plus 750, Giddey at 1500, Franz Wagner at plus 1800, and then we fall off a cliff because Chris Duarte in sixth place is
don't leave Shaban's boy out of there.
Hey man, I love Chris Duarte, but I mean, like Evan Mobley
plus
really
6,000
option.
I mean, Mobley is clear. It's not even close. I don't think there's an argument for any singular player that deserves it more than Evan Mobley.
Yeah, like aside from being really fucking good at basketball, he's just been the most consistent, and also he's been the most available.
I think that's true. For the other awards, we've at least had a conversation or argument to be made. Hey, there's good value on X, Y, and Z player or coach or whatever. I don't have an argument for I don't think anyone.
If Evan Mobley doesn't win, it's robbery.
It is.
I think he's won it.
It's fucking thievery.
I don't think there's anything anyone else can do to take this from him. Also picked Evan Mobley. Surprise, surprise. Because this is a walkaway award. Sixth man of the year. Tyler Herro is the heaviest favorite I think I've seen in this award in a very. He's at minus 1,500. You have to bet $1,500 to win $100 on this bet. It is a ridiculous odds-on favorite, and I don't think he should win it.
I really don't.
I don't think he should win it.
You do not like Tyler Hero?
No, I like Tyler Hero, but you know what I like more? I like value. I like a deal.
But there's no deals.
So
here.
what value? Do you need like Kelly Oubre?
No.
Kelly Oubre is at plus
value.
2,000, bro.
My value is bad, guys. It's bad.
It's plus 8,000.
It's this player. The issue I think I've got is I don't
know if I'm gonna like this.
I think this player may have started too many games. That's kind of the thing with
this is Jalen.
I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
Yeah,
he started too many games. Never mind.
Yeah. Like, are you putting Jalen Brunson?
I picked Bobby Portis at plus 10,000.
I had my eyes on Bobby Portis.
Bobby Portis. Look,
But he started 12, 13 games already?
Bro, 45. He started 45 of their 50 games.
Oh, bullshit. He's a starter. Why is he even
Brooke has been out?
He's a starter.
Yeah. So that's why plus 10,000 is kind of a no deal here, unfortunately. That's why when I looked at it, I was like, well, plus 10,000? Bobby Portis has been really good this NBA season for the for the Milwaukee Bucks. But he started too many games.
Yeah,
so
way too many games. He started over half the season.
Yeah.
I don't think there's another good pick here.
Anthony Simons.
I like Anthony, but he's probably going to end up.
But he started too many games.
Yeah, he's probably going to have started too many games.
Because Dame's been out for too long, and I don't know if Dame's coming back.
No, he's had a horrible.
Clarkson hasn't been as good as Hero though.
No, Clarkson hasn't been as good as this year as he was last year.
See, Anthony started 25 of the 52. If he, assuming he starts the next 20 games or 30 games, he'll get to 50 games or so started. And then that'll be too many games.
He's out. I guess Kevin Love, maybe.
Kevin Love is an interesting pick.
I think we're fighting the inevitable. It really feels like
I think it
is going to be Tyler Hero though.
Kevin Love's only started 2 games out of 50.
That's what I'm saying, because they have like
Hero,
8 big men.
Hero deserves this award. Let's be honest.
Credit to Tyler Hero. Like last year with his elevated role, he looked a little flustered. He didn't really know like how to work with it. But this year, he looks like he looks a lot more acclimated, a lot more confident.
It's because he had a kid.
Oh, well, there it is.
And we downplay this fucking occurrence way too much. Fred VanVleet won a title.
That's true. He did.
Brandon Ingram won Most Improved. Jason Tatum won Rookie of the Year.
I think Tyler Hero's the winner.
It's Tyler Hero.
And it should be Tyler Hero.
All right, you know what I'm doing this offseason? I'm going to look to see who's got a kid coming, who just had a kid. And I am just putting money
Instagram stalking.
We're just gonna go to Kay's. We're just gonna go Kay's follower list or following list. It's just gonna be a bunch of girlfriends and wives of NBA players, just so you can see who's pregnant. Oh yeah, you are. I'm gonna bet on your significant other to do well.
See, look,
whatever.
Myers Leonard, wife's having a baby, but he's a racist, so he's not in the league anymore. He could have won something. Clip it.
Fair enough. All right, we're done with NBA awards. It was that simple. Listener, I hope you learned something. I hope you found an investment of some kind. Now we're going to jump to All-Star Weekend talk. We're going to stay in line of what we've discussed so far. We're going to do odds for some of the stuff going on. Kays, just for fun, we're not actually going to talk. Well, we are going to talk, but we're not going to talk seriously, okay? The NBA All-Star Game, I do not recommend, listener, that you invest any capital.
Oh, do not at all.
Don't invest in this at all. This is purely a for fun conversation. But
Giannis to win MVP.
Kays' boy is the odds-on favorite. So the NBA Celebrity Game, like I said, do not invest in this at all, please. However, we're going to talk about the NBA All-Star or the Celebrity All-Star Game MVP odds for fun. Quavo is the odds-on favorite at plus 225.
Do sprinkle some on that.
Kays, you like Ranveer Singh?
I have to. I got to do it for the homeland, bro. Motherland, Mother India.
You think he's any good?
Reports are, so I've been digging
Reports
into this.
by who?
Reports by who?
All right, so you got the Hindustan Times,
The Hindustan Times.
Bombay Daily, MTV Roadies India.
Okay, Case. Yeah, it's plus 2,200. Are you going to place capital on this?
Yes, I am.
I don't think you should.
Solely because he's from India, and Abhishek Bachchan was so bad when he played. The only way to go is up.
Okay. All right. We're going to talk about the other competitions now. I just wanted to bring it up because I thought Case would have a fun moment talking about it. Man. So let's talk about the skills competition first. They've changed up the way they do the skills competition this year. They're going to do 3 teams of 3 players. And the teams are actually rather interesting. Okay. Team Rooks, as in rookies, are the odds-on favorite to win this thing. Team Rookies comprised of Cade Cunningham.
Fuck?
What? Is this the first you're hearing of this?
That they're the odds-on favorite?
Well, you're going to hear the other ones. You're going to be like, oh, okay. So Team Rooks has Cade Cunningham, Josh Giddey, and Scotty Barnes on the team.
Oh, they're doing that 3-on-3 bullshit this year.
So that's Team Rooks. They're plus 160. The second odds-on favorite, second place, plus 170. So only a 10-cent difference is Team Cavs. And Team Cavs has Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. So that'll be interesting in the skills competition, I have to say.
And then
Giannis is playing?
And then
the super house.
Yeah, and then in last place at plus 190. So again, only a 30-cent difference between first and last place here. Our Team Antetokounmpo, which is Alex Antetokounmpo, currently playing with Raptors 905, the G League affiliate. Thanasis Antetokounmpo playing with his brother Giannis Antetokounmpo on the Bucks. The 3 brothers are on the same team. I think that will be fun.
I think that Giannis alone.
I feel bad for
Kostas.
That's not how skills competition works, though. That's the real question. Do you think? I think Team Rooks is gonna win.
I think Team Cavs is gonna win.
Interesting, Shaban. Do you have a take here at all?
I mean, I think I'm gonna go with the fucking 2-time MVP and the reigning finals.
Well, the other
MVP.
2 have to shoot threes as well. How do you feel about that? The other guys still have to pass, shoot, dribble, layup, shoot threes. They got to do all that too. It's not
is it a relay
Giannis.
or is it just one by one best?
Giannis can make an open 3.
No, not
in
Giannis.
Transition.
It's Thanasis and Alex that I'm concerned about.
Well,
it's a team effort, right? So they all have to do what I assume is the relay.
Okay. When you play like that, let's see.
Look, if you want to pick them. I'm just saying you have to bet on all of them, not just one of them. That's how this works.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. I would probably go with Team Cavs then.
Okay. I also went Team Cavs just for fun. So Team Cavs plus 170. I'm taking Team Rooks at plus 160. Case, you got something to say?
Scotty Barnes healthy? Yes, no.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's playing. I think he's playing right now.
I think he's second on the rookie of the year
minutes,
ladder
right
now.
Look at that. Indiana Pacers breaking news. Will waive center Tristan Thompson.
Oh, guess who the Lakers were signing tomorrow?
And guess who he's signing with?
The Lakers.
The Chicago Bulls after he cleared
Shut
waivers.
The fuck up. No
signing
fucking
with the Chicago Bulls.
Expected to, or they said he's signing?
Tristan will sign a new deal with Chicago Bulls. That's coming from your cousin.
No. Sham said it is not wrong.
Yeah, it's got to be real. All right, jumping into the. Do you want to do 3-point or slam dunk, Shaban? Which one do you want to do?
Slam dunk's less exciting, so let's do that.
Yeah. Okay, slam dunk it is. First. Sorry, slam dunk.
You want me to break down the skills challenge though?
No, not really. We kind of made our picks. I think we're cool with it. Slam dunk. The field is Jalen Green, the Houston Rocket rookie, is the favorite at plus 135. Obi Toppin is at plus 170. Cole Anthony is at plus 325. And Juan Toscano Anderson is at plus 475. Case, who do you like in the slam dunk competition, if anyone?
Obi Toppin.
Okay, yeah, I was just saying Obi Toppin as well, and only because like Safe and I, like, we saw him in person, like at Summer League this past summer.
Good.
He's
hella
really
athletic,
good.
So I think Obi Toppin's gonna win. I
Can I ask
I
a
want to put that on the
question?
record. Sure, yeah.
The Warriors have Jonathan Kuminga.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck is Juan Toscano Anderson here?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Juan Toscano Anderson pull off any like,
Well,
highlight
you're going to
dunks.
on All-Star Saturday. You have no choice. He has no choice.
Yeah, I have a choice. I'm not gonna watch.
Yeah, you are. Shut up. We're all gonna watch because we have a problem.
No, I'll
I'm just
tune
gonna
in. The
s-
dunk
I'm- I
contest
mean,
is
like-
the last thing they do.
I'm just saying.
So you know what
like,
I'm gonna do after the 3-point contest?
You go turn it off and walk
I'm
away.
gonna change the fucking channel. That's right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like a few years ago, we had Aaron Gordon and Derek Jones Jr. Aaron Gordon for the second time, mind you.
Mhm.
And now we have like Obi Toppin versus like Cole Anthony, who's a point guard, Juan Toscano Anderson, who I've never seen dunk before, and Jalen Green, who is a minus 400 since he's joined the league.
So you guys go be top in here. Us going Jalen Green. Surprise, surprise, right? He's
Yeah.
a rocket.
Really.
He's a rocket. And honestly, he's a ridiculous dunker. The guy's got hops like crazy. So it makes sense
Yes.
that he's the favorite here
But
as well.
statistically the worst player in the NBA offense and defense.
Fair enough.
He's the worst player ever
So-
statistically.
I think for the record, I think Obi Toppin's going to win. However, I like a value. So I'm going to go Cole Anthony at plus 325. And here's why. It's more impressive when a not 6'9" guy does it, right? And that's kind of my logic with Cole Anthony. If Cole Anthony does something similar to or as impressive as a Obi Toppin, he'll get more credit for it. And Cole Anthony is a vicious
Will
athlete.
he though?
Yeah, absolutely he will.
Because the
Absolutely.
judging has been suspect.
Look, I can only guess.
that's. I mean, like that's what like Dwayne Wade like judging with like Derek Jones Jr. versus Aaron Gordon,
And then is
that was really
Dominique
sus.
being super critical? Shaq willing to never give a 10?
So I'm going Cole.
That gives tens. Sometimes.
I think the takeaway from this, listener, is that the dunk contest, more than really any other competition, is an absolute crapshoot.
We not
well,
watching.
Well, besides the celebrity game, which again I do not recommend you put any money.
Please don't bet
on. Don't
on
do
that.
it. Please
the
don't.
dunk contest. has
Don't
not
be
been the
like
same.
me.
The dunk contest has not been the same since 2016.
But look, Tiffany Haddish plus 3,500. I'm just saying.
Case, come on.
She could hoop.
I'm not questioning it. I'm just saying you shouldn't put capital on anyone, not just Tiffany, and not on anybody. All right, let's talk about the 3-point contest. Case, you said this was the most interesting one. Why?
All of these guys are lights out.
Fair enough. Here's the field. Odds-on favorite is a tie between.
No, it's not.
It is right now that I'm looking at it.
Oh, my odds are out of order. Never mind.
Yeah, mine are too. So odds-on favorite is a tie between Zach LaVine and Trae Young at plus 450. So $100 wins you $450. Third place is Patty Mills at plus 500. Luke Kennard and Fred Van Vliet are tied for fourth and fifth place at plus 550. Desmond Bain at plus 600. CJ McCollum at plus 650. And Karl Anthony Towns at plus 950. Where are we feeling? What are we feeling here?
It's hard to take my bias out of this.
So
I know,
that bias
man.
means you think who's going to win?
Trae Young.
At plus 450, you like Trae Young?
I do, but I don't think he's going to win.
Well, who do you think is going to win?
Luke Kennard's going to win the 3-point contest.
Oh God, jeez, Case, I
And
hate that you spoke that into the existence of the world. What are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Look, it's either him or Karl Anthony Towns.
Okay, so here's kind of where my head's at. This competition works really well for guys who take it seriously, obviously, guys who have very consistent but low energy draining 3-point shot. And then obviously I want a value. That's what I want. So should Trae Young win? Probably. Is Zach LaVine even going to compete? Are we sure?
I don't think so.
Do you think he's going to drop out?
I think he's going to drop out last minute.
I think it's possible considering Zach LaVine's dealing with some injury stuff right now with his knee. So anyway, I'm going to pick two guys. I'm going to pick Desmond Bain at plus 600 because his shot is extremely consistent and he doesn't jump that high. Trae has to really kind of throw his body into it. He's the best shooter here, but he takes a lot when he shoots. So that's why I'm not
Right.
super concerned. So Desmond Bane at plus 600, I like. And then Karl Anthony Towns is not just a really good big man shooter. He's just straight up a really good shooter. And at plus 950, I have to put something on this. This is too good a value to walk away from. Plus
Allegedly.
950, he can hold himself against these other guys. Plus 950, I think, is very good odds. Shaban, do you want me to read Asad's pick before you go?
Yeah, go ahead and read Asad's pick.
All right. Asad said Freddie, as in Freddie Van Vliet at plus 550 is his pick to win the 3-point contest, which is an interesting one to say the least. Not because he just doesn't excite me, I guess, in the 3-point contest. In the skills challenge, I feel like he'd be fucking sick if they were doing a normal skills challenge. Shaban, who's your pick for the 3-point contest?
This is hard for me because I want to pick Trae Young. I want to pick Trae Young so badly.
Then pick Trae Young.
But like a big part of the 3-point contest is the corner three, because you attempt 10 of those shots are corner threes, and Trae Young never attempts that corner three.
That's probably fair.
Even when he does, he hits like about 46%, which is not bad. It's actually very, very good.
46% is insane.
I love how you said 6%, thinking we'd be mad about that number.
46% is ridiculous.
But not only does Zach LaVine attempt more than double the amount of corner threes that Trae Young takes, but he also hits those at 60%. 60. He hits 60% of his corner threes in this season. That is incredible.
You're talking about Zach LaVine?
Yes, I'm taking Zach LaVine.
As in the guy who's probably going to drop out because of a knee injury?
Oh, damn it.
That's what we just talked about, Shaban. Come on, man. You clown ass. That's why I was like, Zach LaVine's a good choice here, but I don't think he's going to compete.
I mean, this is so hard, man. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna lean into my bias. I'm gonna say Trae Young.
Okay, cool. I mean, like I said, this is not that big. It's all-star. Like, I think collectively, Kaze and I will put like $40, $50 on it. Like, it's not gonna be allegedly. This is not gonna be something I'm not throwing the bag at this.
So,
because it's an absolute crapshoot.
So one question: if Zach LaVine is not playing in the 3-point contest, and if he's probably not going to be playing then he's probably not going to be playing the All-Star game, right?
Yeah, no, probably not. Again, I'm just speculating. I don't know anything for sure.
So this is kind of a tangent. Like,
who's going to replace him?
Yeah, who would replace Zach LaVine in the All-Star game?
God knows.
I've got to pull up a mental list of players in the NBA. Jimmy's already an all-star.
Jimmy's already there.
Jalen, he's been bitching about it.
Jalen Brown might get it.
Jalen Brown has a shot here.
Yeah, I would probably say Jalen Brown.
Or Drew Holiday, who deserves it as well. Drew definitely deserves it as well.
Milwaukee would be the only team with 3 all-stars.
At that point, you don't think about that, because now we've come so far. It's not like they put him in initially, right? He's a replacement at this point. So
no, you're right.
So yeah, I think Drew deserves it. Jalen is also fine. I'm cool with that because he's obviously very good. It's just his team is. By the way, the Celtics winning by almost 50 points last night. Is that not ridiculous?
They won like 9 straight games so far.
They are on a 9-game winning streak. Yes, they are.
So it looks like they're turning the corner.
I don't know what. Are you ready? Are you gonna buy or sell that statement, Shaban? Did the Celtics turn a corner? I was like, are you really gonna buy it though, or are we just talking to talk? We're gonna. I don't know what it is, but the Celtics have been. I mean, dude, they're sitting in 6th in the East. They went from basically outside the whole
3.5 games behind the 1 seed.
Who knows? Maybe they did turn the corner. I don't know, man. But they have been playing a lot of good basketball recently, especially on the defensive end. Their commitment to defense has been.
But I don't like their remaining schedule though.
So in game, Trae Young has shot less than 15 shots this season from the corners.
I wanted to talk to you guys about something that crossed my eye on Twitter earlier today. And I'm glad that we talked about the Celtics, because I have to bring this up. Okay. So we all know 538, they do a model, right? Of the best teams, their chance of making the playoffs, of the chance of making the finals, and the chance of winning the finals. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The current best team in the NBA is the Phoenix Suns. They have a 99% chance of making the playoffs. A 32% chance of making the finals, which is quite high, and a 17% chance of winning the finals, which is rather high.
Very high.
They are in third on 538's model to win the NBA Finals. There are
Who's first?
There are two teams with a higher percentage chance of winning the NBA Finals than the Phoenix Suns right now. Can you guess them?
Warriors,
Milwaukee.
Bucks.
Milwaukee is definitely one of them, and Milwaukee is number 2. So there is a team at number 1.
Don't say Brooklyn.
No, Brooklyn is Brooklyn's, let's see, 2, 4, 6. They're like number 11. They're number 11 with a 0.8% chance, not even 1% chance of winning the finals, which is, by the way, asinine as a number.
All right, just tell me, who is it?
Miami is 2, 4. They are 6th with a 7% chance of winning the NBA Finals. So, like I said, the Suns are at 17%.
Hold up, give me a hint. East or West?
East. The Suns
Chicago.
are at 17%. The Bucks are at 18%. The number 1 team on 538's model to win the NBA Finals with a 20% chance of winning the NBA Finals is the Boston Celtics.
Shut the fuck up. No way.
The Boston Celtics are the number 1 team on 538's model to win the NBA Finals.
I mean, this is the same organization that projected that Joe Biden would win in a blowout, and
didn't he win? We saw him in a blowout.
I mean, he won, but like, man, that was a shit show.
20% chance of winning the NBA Finals.
Jesus,
owned by Disney.
Christ.
Just for perspective, like I said, 20% chance. The Brooklyn Nets have a less than 1% and a 0.8% chance. The Warriors have a 3% chance. The 76ers have a 6% chance. Who else is a good? The Bulls have a 0.3% chance. So a third of 1% we're talking here. The Lakers have less than a 0.1% chance. I don't necessarily disagree with that. I'm just saying the Boston Celtics don't have a million times more of an odds to win the NBA Finals. Who else? Is there another number team, Shaban, you want? The Cavs have less than a 0.1% chance.
Wow. Well, I mean,
the Boston Celtics.
It is the Cavs, but man, that's mad disrespectful.
The Boston Celtics have the highest chance of winning the NBA Finals according to 538.
That is fucking crazy.
I don't know what's up with the model. I don't know if it's broken. I don't know what's going on. But this is
apparently Nate Silver's a genius.
He is a genius. This is blasphemy. The Boston Celtics are not winning the NBA Finals. Now watch them win. Now that we've said it, right? The Webham curse.
You know what? They're gonna win.
So
and they're gonna sweep whoever they play.
So that so 538 also has a stat called Raptor, which like determines like who is the best player like in the NBA. Can you guess who they picked for the Raptor?
DeMar DeRozan.
No, he's not a big stats guy. Sorry, like advanced
Jason
stats
Tatum.
guy. Advanced stats guy.
It's not that difficult. Like first player
it's
that comes to mind.
Jokic.
Yeah. But like can you guess like who is who are the top 5 defensive players in the league according to that defensive Raptor?
Gobert,
Defensive
Giannis, Miles Turner, Marcus Smart.
I mean, I don't hate any of the names Casey said so far. Which ones?
You got one of them right. You got Rudy Gobert.
Shit.
The second best player according to defensive Raptor is Nikola Jokic.
Shut the fuck up.
Jokic is not a bad defender, but he is not an elite level defender by any.
The third best player is Matisse Thybulle, which I mean I don't hate. The 4th best defensive player is Al Horford.
Oh, Boston Celtic, Al Horford, the NBA Finals champion.
Stop.
And the 5th best defensive player is, wait for it, Derek fucking White.
So the other Boston Celtic makes sense.
Oh my god.
By the way, he's been pretty good since he got there, but he's not.
Plus 48 last night.
I do like Derek White. I do like the fit with Derek White in Boston a lot. I don't know if he's like the best defensive player in the league though.
Anyway, now we've gone off a complete tangent. My point of all this was that the Boston Celtics should not have a 20%, the number 1 chance of winning the NBA Finals, according to 538. That's ridiculous. Anyway, listener, if you've come this far, I hope you've enjoyed listening. I hope you have had a good time listening to us here today. This has been another episode of the Waterboy and Equipment Manager podcast. We'll be back next week. There's not going to be much basketball that's happened by the time we come and talk to you next week.
What, 2 games?
Like 1. They start back on Thursday, and we're recording Thursday night as per usual. So we'll have a couple of games. Anyway, listener, have a good week. Enjoy All-Star Weekend. Hopefully you get to rest and relax, similar to many of the NBA players that do. Otherwise, we'll talk to you next week. See ya.
Peace.
Bye.